I want you to be lifted up. I want you to have a smile on your face. I want you to wake up eager to do life, to be with the people you love, to do the things that you love, to enjoy this life each and every day. Welcome to Grit, Grace, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kevin Lowe, and I'm excited to welcome you inside. What's going on, and welcome back to the podcast. How are you doing today? I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to be here. I am ready for today's episode. I don't know how you are feeling. For some reason, Kevin is feeling all kinds of good today. So this is Grit, Grace, and Inspiration, episode number 184. I'm your host, Kevin Lowe, as well as a transformational life and business coach. Here on the podcast, my goal with every episode is to inspire you, motivate you, encourage you, and remind you that you got this. Now, if you want to take it a step further and work with me as a coach, well, that's when we get to take it to the next level, because we turn the inspiration into action. Because action leads to results. Results lead to where we want to be in life. And that's what living is all about. Today's topic ties in perfectly with that. Where you are is not where you have to stay. This is a topic that resonates with a lot of people. A lot of people, I find, are in a season of life where they are not where they want to be. Maybe that's a relationship. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a group of friends who you are stuck hanging out with and you really don't know how to change that. Well, that's what today's episode is all about. Today is all about helping you to make the tough choices, to do the tough things. Because why? Well, because you matter. Your future matters. I want the best for you each and every single day. And there is no reason under this sun that if you are in a relationship that is not good for you, that you should continue to be there. There is no reason under this sun that if you are in a workplace that is not serving you, you should not be there. Make a change. This world is full of choices. It's full of variety. And I believe variety is indeed the spice of life. So if you don't like where you are, then let's make a change. And that's what we're diving into inside of today's episode. Now, I want to remind you, if you want to take this podcast to the next level by diving into a community, a place that I am building to be a place where we can do life together, well, I'm inviting you to join the Grit, Grace, and Inspiration community on Facebook. Technically, it's a Facebook group. I like to call it a Facebook community because I like to think that we're basically just one big neighborhood, doing life together, acting as a community, leaning on each other, and building each other up. And I would love for you to be a part of it. So please be sure to check out today's show notes where I will leave a link to that group where you can get signed up. So, like I said, scroll down, check out the show notes, and would love to see you inside the group. With that said, well, it's time for us to dive into today's subject. So, I'll see you inside. I understand that the topic I'm speaking on today is not an easy one. I understand that I might be sitting here and I make it sound easy. But I promise you that I realize it's not easy. I understand that your situation is different than everyone else's because, well, that's just kind of how life works. We're all on our own journey. We're all living our own life, and each of our lives have their own situation, their own variables at play. So I'm not here to make this sound easy. So please don't take it like that. What I am here to do, though, is to remind you that there is a way out. You just have to be willing to make the tough choices. Oftentimes in life, in order for us to get to our next level, to break into that next chapter, generally it relies on some big things to happen, some breakthroughs to occur, us to act on boldness, us to act on our heart rather than our heads. And with those choices, they come the fears, the worries, the anxiety, the what if scenarios. Because on the other side of that choice is the unknown. And the unknown is oftentimes the part that keeps all of us stuck in a situation. But here's the thing that I want you to remember. Remember this if you remember nothing else I say. If you never make a change, then nothing will ever stand a chance at getting better. Let me repeat that. If you never make a move, if you never make a change, then nothing will change. Everything will stay the same. Is that okay for you? The situation you're in right now, is that okay? I hope you said no, because it's not okay. And I am here to encourage you to just make that next step. Take that first step. You be the person, the woman, the man, the individual who is willing to take that first step on the moon, because you know that there is something more out there for you and that this world is no longer big enough for you. But the question comes, but how do I know when I'm ready? How do I know that I'm not just making the scenario seem worse than it really is? But let me ask you a couple of questions. And in these questions lies the answer. Right now, how do you feel? Are you anxious? Do you feel bitter? Do you feel angry? Are you worried? Are you upset? Are you biting your fingernails? Are you unable to concentrate? Unable to sleep? Those are generally signs that something's not right. In your life today, do you feel like the people, the situation that we're talking about, do you feel like those people truly value you? I'm not talking about whether or not they like you or not. Like is another topic for another day. I'm talking about value you. Do they look up to you? Do they respect you? Do they value you? My third question, have you stopped growing? Have you stopped focusing on becoming a better version of yourself? Have you thrown that away? Do you feel like, what's the point? Why try anymore? And lastly, when you woke up this morning, what was your first thought? If it was dread about the day, about the work you're going to, about the people you're going to encounter in the day, about the situation you're going to be handed, I'm here to tell you that that is a sign. All of these are signs that you are not where you are meant to be in this life. All of those are clear-cut signs that it is time for you to make a change. But again, even after you look at yourself and say, okay, yeah, I show the signs. Maybe it is right for me to make a change. Well, then why don't you? Why don't we do the hard stuff? Well, because we worry about it. We're fearful of what could be. We are stopped dead in our tracks by the what ifs. Well, here's my first tip for you. Your fears, your worries, I want you to address them head on. I want you to acknowledge these fears. I want you to realize that it's okay to feel them. I want you to understand that that is just part of life. Oftentimes, the big stuff we have to do is fearful. It's scary. Do you think when Neil Armstrong stepped out of that space shuttle and took one step on the moon, do you think he wasn't scared in some way, shape, or form? You better bet he was. It's the same for you. It's going to be scary. You're going to be fearful, and that's okay. You just have to recognize it. Let that fear know that you see it. Because when you see the fear, when you let the fear know that you see it, well, now maybe it becomes fearful of you. Because now you've acknowledged its presence, and now you understand how to get around it. Ha ha ha. See where I'm going? After you address the fears, now let's start getting tactical. What is your plan? What is the big plan that you have? You got a change you want to do. You got some things you need to do, some pages that need turning, some new chapters to be written. Well, baby, how are we going to do it? Start making a plan. Whether it's in your head or it's written down, it's time for you to start crafting your plan. Not only on how you're going to do it, how you're going to make the change and move forward, but what you're going to do after the fact. Because here's the thing. A lot of times in situations that we're getting out of, the first choice is the hardest. The choice to get out of it. The choice to remove yourself from that situation, that's the big one. That's the most important one. But after you make that choice, after you take action, I'm here to tell you that doesn't mean then that things are going to be easy. Most likely, you're going to have to make some sacrifices today with the idea that your life of tomorrow matters more. Because today is only temporary. Our future, that's forever. So if you've got to do some things today that maybe you don't want to do, you don't like doing, but they are necessary in order for you to get out of whatever situation that was harmful to you, to your health, to your mental health, to your physical well-being, well, then you might have to do those. And that's okay because they're temporary. But go ahead and figure out what that is. Get your next 3 steps figured out. You got the big event. You're going to make a change. You're going to leave the job. You're going to leave that person who's been in your life, who brings you down, who beats you down, who is not good for you. In whatever kind of relationship that looks like. You're going to do the thing. You're going to break free. Well, now after breaking free, what are your next 3 steps? Let's have you figure those out. Get that figured out so you already know what you're headed towards. My third piece of advice here is to reach out to somebody who you can trust. Now, I didn't say reach out to somebody because, well, somebody is just anybody. And we don't need anybody in a situation like this. We need somebody who you trust. Your ride and die buddy, the person who you can count on when you can count on no one else. The person who has only your best interest at heart. I want you to figure out who that person is. And I want you to confide in them, to reach out to them. Because sometimes it's much easier for somebody on the outside to look in and be able to see, oh, well, this is pretty simple. You just need to do this. Or no, you shouldn't do that. Seek out to them and get advice, get help from them. Now, I'm not telling you to go to them and ask them if you should or shouldn't get out of this situation. No, that is not what I'm saying at all. This is your choice. This is your life. This is your heart that is leading the way. I just want to encourage you to be sure that you got somebody who's there on your side, who's got your back. My 4th piece of advice here, my 4th action item that I want you to do is to take action. Imperfect action is better than no action at all. So even if you don't know how it's all going to go, even if you don't know exactly what those 3 steps are, Well, it's better for you to get out of where you are right now than for you to stay here, to stay stuck, to stay in that abusive relationship, to stay in that career that is beating you down, that is taking you nowhere, to stay in that same group of friends that are leading you down a path that you never want to go down. I would rather you take imperfect action by just taking action, by getting out and start heading off down the highway. And maybe we just got to travel down and see where this highway goes. But at least you are not in a situation that is harmful to you, to your physical health, your mental health. That's what I'm talking about. Remember, you matter more than anyone else. If you don't hear anything else I say, you matter more than anyone else. Your mental health, your physical health, your well-being is of utmost importance. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. To be that reminder, that voice on your shoulder telling you that you matter, that you don't deserve to be treated like this. You deserve better. You deserve to be living a life that has you headed down the right path, the best path towards your next best chapter of life. That's what I want for you. And that's what these items are meant to do for you. So with that, I'm here to tell you, it's time to embrace the power of change, to break through the chains, to see what lies on the other side. If you're stuck, you don't have to stay stuck. If you're feeling drained, you don't have to remain in a situation that drains your energy. I want you to be lifted up. I want you to have a smile on your face. I want you to wake up eager to do life, to be with the people you love, to do the things that you love, to enjoy this life each and every day. If you have found help in this episode, please consider sharing it with a friend, because chances are you're not the only one who is feeling stuck, who has thought about making a change, but has been too scared, too fearful to do so. So share it with a friend. And remember this, you got this. Stay strong, stay inspired, and remember that you are worth this. This is your life, no one else's. You matter more than anyone else. So it's time for you to get out there and take back control of your life, because this is your life to live. And well, I'm just here to be that source of inspiration, of motivation, of encouragement that you can do it. You got this. My name is Kevin Lowe, host of Grit, Grace, and Inspiration. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. As always, please be sure to find all of my contact information inside of today's show notes, or by just heading over to my website, gritgraceinspiration.com. Hey, real quick before you go, I have one last thought to leave you with. I, of course, hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, but more importantly, I want to remind you that I never want you to listen to an episode of this podcast to hear something that I have to say or that my guest has to share and think, wow, I wish I could be like them. I wish I could overcome my own challenges and do the great things that they are doing, but I just can't. Well, friend, that's where you are wrong. You are capable. You are able. And you darn sure are deserving of having all that you can imagine in this life. There's nothing special about me or any guest I have on this podcast. We are all just normal people trying to make it in this life. And so I encourage you to take a look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself that, you know what, I can do it too. Now, of course, if you would like help along that way, reach out to me, whether that's as a listener of this podcast, a friend, or if you'd like to work with me as a coach. My contact information is inside of every episode's show notes, just like this one. So go down, check out my contact information, and reach out to me today. With that said, I encourage you to take on the day every day with grit, grace, and inspiration.